enlarge the toolbox of our teachers and having strategies for working with all students. That was a presentation by the ESD. Been meeting with a lot of kids and a lot of parents about accountability and working on ways to get students prepared and onto the next grade. Undoubtedly, there will be a couple who don't believe, but I think we've got many who are working their way through Homework Center and even some who I didn't think believed are now met with one kid who got in trouble for something else, but every time I have a kid in my office, we look up their grades because it's kind of important. And yeah, I've got that one going and I'm working on this one and hey, something's happening.
Nice.
Smarter balance planning is the next item and our teachers are designing our kids' smarter balance test in ways they think will maximize their opportunity. One of the challenges with that test, of course, is all the accountability is to the schools and none to the kids. But we still are working hard to present the best opportunities and get them to take it seriously. So we've been meeting quite a bit about that. Camp Wooten is coming, one way or the other, and that planning is going, and we'll be collecting high school counselor applications here in another week or two, and getting that crowd prepared at the same time preparing our schedules and all the deals. One of the things that still is up in the air a little bit is food service at Camp Wooten. So I know that Jenny has talked a little bit with Mona about what we need to do or what we have to establish some stuff, but food, they're gonna wanna eat a few times while we're up there. That's kind of the biggest hurdle right now in my mind is getting that situated. And on get the date right, I think it's the 25th, Monday the 25th, I wrote it down, I should just look at my notes. Spring sports start, and so that whole ordeal goes through, and you know, spring sports is fun. We gotta get a lot of kids involved and try and keep them on the right path, both academically and athletically. Any questions?
Just curious, and I don't know if you know the answer. How long has this district gone to Camp Wooten? Do you have any idea?
Since 1972,
Wow. Okay.
continuously.
Nice.
So, you know, barring COVID.
I was gonna say
Correct.
minus.
Yeah, minus.
Yeah, I know. That was
Yeah.
that's still a sore point.
Someday we won't have to say that again.
Right.
I'm hoping.
But since 72,
Wow. Thank you, Chuck.
you bet.
It's a long time. I had
Well,
no
I knew my
idea it was
dad
that
went
long.
when he taught here his first go around. So
It's impressive.
Hello, everyone.
hello.
So I wanted to make sure, because we didn't see all the students who got awards for the art show. That was at ASU 123. So the judge's choice in going to state are Reese Zorn for Wave on Wave. This is a wooden table
Oh, wow.
with the epoxy in it.
Oh.
And so it's very, 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 very cool.
Were these the ones that we didn't get to see?
Correct. This was one of them you
okay.
didn't get to see, but then there's
Okay.
others that you did get to see. Okay, so I just want to make sure I showed that. And then this next one is for Riley Keck for Beautiful. And these are, you have to remember that all of these are round pieces of paper rolled up.
Mm.
And so it's like three-dimensional. So this is Riley's,
Oh, the bee.
the bee.
I like it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, no, that one was
Yeah,
really
it was
cool.
very, very cool. Oops, I forgot to show you guys, my bad. Okay, I'll show that here too. Okay. And then the scholarship, this student received a scholarship to Central Washington University. We're not sure what the amount is, but from my understanding, it's between $1,000 and $2,500. And that was Marshall Madrigal, and it's self-portrait in watercolor. So if you remember this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that got him a scholarship for Central. Then the last one is the Superintendent Award for Andrea Gomez and her coffee painting. And once again,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they're just, to me, amazing stuff that they had this year.
Yep.
We had the most number of entries that we've ever had, and so kudos to
We had a
Mrs.
lot.
Baumgartner. She does amazing work. She keeps saying she's gonna retire. I'm like, okay, 5 years. I just keep saying 5 years every year. I tell me, I'm retiring in 5 years. Everybody asks me, 5 years. Sounds good to
It's a
me.
good
So, but unbelievable stuff.
Yeah,
Very,
they
very
were all impressive.
Next thing that I'm gonna talk to is spring athletics started. So we have softball 29 athletes turning out, baseball 23. We're still gonna try to have a JV varsity because there's enough kids to be able to do that, because we really only need 18, but need subs and pitchers and all that kind of stuff. So track has 53, which is
Wow.
about one of the bigger numbers that I've had since we've been here, which is good. Tennis is 16, and then boys soccer is 26. So the total is 147 kids, which is about 28% of our population, which is pretty good, you know, small school. So I want to make sure kudos go out for that, because I remember coaching track and I looked like the Michelin tire with all my stuff warming me up because I'm such a wuss in the cold. Until the sun comes out, then it's all shorts all day, all long. So, but yeah, this is the beginning of the year, like we were talking how cold it was out there. Mother Nature can't figure out if she went spring or winter still. So we have a student academic specialist. She's a SAS. And starting this week, we're gonna start looking at data to see the kids who are close to passing their core content classes, math, science, English, and social studies. And so she's gonna start calling them in from their elective classes and then have them finish up those assignments to be passing those classes. And she's gonna rip through those kids to get those passes, those classes going and getting them passed. Because if we don't get on them, they're just sometimes gonna just kind of waver at that 58, 59. We wanna get that done, okay? The other thing that I wanna make sure that you guys are, or that you know, and I sent home the phone call, but we have the 8th grade introduction to high school night this Wednesday, 5 to 7 o'clock. And if you wanna have pizza with the principal, that's right, questions and answers for you, pizza with the principal. That'll be 5 to 7 o'clock, and I'll be there answering any questions. We're gonna have tables set up for sports, clubs, activities, different groups to, you know, try to get kids to know what's available in the high school and all that kind of good stuff. So we started this last year. It was a big hit. It was packed. It was really cool. I'd say we had probably 85, 90% of the 8th graders come up and come to that. And so I encourage you guys to come up, take a look and see, and it's just gonna be a fun night. So anybody have any questions?
What day was that?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday from 5 to 7. He just wants the pizza.
Nothing
I'm just saying.
wrong with
No, I agree. You guys got anything?
that?
I will
No.
text you Wednesday night with the amount of the scholarship award.
Yes.
Same evening as
I know, I realize that.
the award
I can't
ceremony.
be split. Last week, oh, by the way, last week we had our Crystal Apple Award. Mr. Peterson did a great job, you know, Mr. Newman from the high school, great presentation from everyone, you know, and Mr. Newman really deserves for the time and effort and energy that he's put in for our district. I mean, it's amazing, and we're really thankful for him to still be around and making a difference in kids' lives. So,
Absolutely.
sorry, I need to make sure I said
Yep.
that. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to new business, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you. The first piece of information I have for you is a facility condition update. This is out of the ICO system. And quite frankly, it's because the high school is the only building we have that actually requires, because of its age, that we do a periodic report. And as you go through the report that I gave to the board, you can see, you know, it's a 15-year-old building. And a lot of things hit that 90% mark where things are in good to excellent condition. And you can see though that we do have a few areas that we're starting to bump down a little bit, and it's hitting the 62%. It's really there is no in between. You go from a 90 to a 62. Some of our walls, we've noticed some cracking, some peeling, things like that. If you walk back here, yeah, what's the name of the hallway that goes from the English, goes by Mr. Sonderland's room, comes out right here.
Language arts hall.
Yeah, Language Arts Hall. It's got a funky look to it. Ceiling finishes, now, of course, that's always gonna happen anytime you have any leaks, it's gonna stain. I think the biggest one that we need to pay some attention to, domestic water distribution, so we're seeing some mineral buildup. We had some issues, if you recall, last year, Dan came and spoke to it a couple of different times. Problems with the water softener. In fact, there were more than a couple times when Clay's walked in, or even when our cooks have walked in and found a few inches of water where there was a significant, I won't call that a leak, that was a bust. That led us to, at one point, we bypassed it. And then the cooling system, you can see that that's taken another hit. Those two items are not necessarily the most important, but they certainly have the potential to cost us a significant amount if either one of those have to be repaired and or replaced in a significant way. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep them manageable, but it is something that I plan on the future in getting Drew, Mona, Reed, and myself in a room and starting to take a look at replacement costs for both of those units, so we can start setting aside some capital project funding if we do get in a world of hurt and have to address it. I'd prefer it not come out of our reserve, even though that's what it's there for. I'd just as soon we start putting a rainy day fund into capital projects. So you are more than welcome to continue going through these items. The lighting, as it says, we're in the transition phase. All of our exterior lights, through some grants that Dan was able to get us, we've upgraded to the LEDs, but that will be a continuing process for energy efficiency, if nothing else. So really, those are the major points, major items that we need to be paying attention to, and you're going to start seeing a yearly report on a status update for these items, just to make sure we've always kind of got it out front and center. And that's what I have for facilities update.
And a revision on policy 6700.
Yeah, so policy 6700, nutrition, health, and physical education. This is simply an update. And this is one that I'm sure if 2020 hindsight, we missed it. It was right at the end of COVID when it was last updated. Thanks though to Mona and to Jenny for tracking this down, because we're in the process of doing a 3-year annual review. And as a part of that 3-year review, looking at our policies came into focus. So that's why we need to get this one updated. And then, as Mona has told me, there are several references in policy 6700 to some other policies that we're now in the process of going back and going through all of those, and we'll make necessary updates as needed to those as well that it makes reference to. But this contains all of the updated information regarding free and reduced procedures and changes to K-12 PE at lunch service. So it's a significant change, but there's realistically nothing that new about it, because we've been following the processes and procedures for the new policy. We just hadn't updated it in our policy manual.
So I need a motion to approve the revision.
Yes, please. We can, if the board has not had as long a time to go through it as needed, we can bring it back, but because it's a revision, we do not need a second reading. We can simply ask for an approval and then update it on the website.
Is anybody comfortable with that?
Probably just a second reading, just for the purpose of I want to review the previous one just to see what the
Okay.
changes are.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's-
Yep,
okay with
absolutely.
you.
So next meeting?
Next meeting, we can bring that back as unfinished, absolutely.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, if any of the board members have any questions, feel free to shoot myself, Mona and Jenny those questions and we'll get them answered for you.
Yeah, same with like, if there's other policies referencing, I just want to reread them
Yep.
just to see.
Absolutely. We'll get on that.
Okay, so with that, we're moving on to board comments. I'm gonna start, this is where I was saving my thank yous to Mr. Feth and to Cheryl and to Jennifer. Cheryl and Jennifer both saw both of my kids through here, and as did Mr. Feth, and it's weird to be in the position where those guys that have been here, and gals, that have been here so long are finding their way out, but congratulations, I hope you enjoy every minute of it, and all the best to you. So, and thank you as well to Jennifer and Cheryl.
Same thing for me. I just want to give you thanks for, all the years you've been here, Thank you very much also for Cheryl and Jennifer. Yep. Thank you very much.
It's confusing because they're both Jennifers, the new one and the old one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to thank Mr. Feth because he was one of the principals when I was in school, and he was also here for my kids. And I went to school with Cheryl's kids, and I'm glad my children also got to be there as she was there. So I don't necessarily remember Jennifer, unfortunately, but I appreciate all of your guys' service for the school district and to the kids. So thank you.
This is Josh. Can you hear me okay?
I guess that's all of us tonight. So with that, with
Can
my
you hear me?
executive session, we are in adjournment.
Very good. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks. All right.
Thank you, guys. That's your record.
First time you got
Take
record.
it.
First time.
See, Josh has a high bar now.
See that, Josh?
Coming back.
Can you hear me or no? All right.